What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Midwest DBS. I have my Vegito Deck profile to go over. I played it last night at locals. I went 3-2, so not as I didn't do as well as I did when I played Zamasu. But I wanted to test this leader out. I do think if you have a lot of the same cards, just play Zamasu instead. It just does. I think it does a lot more. But this leader can do things that Zamasu can't do. And one thing is just basically awakening early. So we'll go over it real quick. So on the front side, when he attacks, he draws a card. Then if it's your opponent's turn, if they KO one of your battle cards or is removed from the game by a skill, you can flip this card over and draw two cards. So this is how we awaken early. He does have a normal awakening, which I never did. So yeah, if it's at 4 or less life, draw one card, restand one of your energy to active mode, and flip it over. Every time I played, I was able to awaken him early, which is really good because then you got a 15k leader. On this side, he has same auto when he attacks, draws a card. He also has a sweet activate battle. You pay 2 blue, you choose one of your blue unison cards, and it gets 10,000 power and triple strike for battle. I did some cool stuff with this ability because if you pay attention, it's not once per turn. So you can dump as much blue energy as you want to give it a 10k and triple strike. Then you can do it again to give additional 10k and additional 10k. I actually killed someone with Sensu Bean and restanding and another 10k, restanding, another 10k. And it did some nasty stuff. And then also, when one of your battle cards is removed from the field or one of your unisons, it has a once per turn. You get a restand in energy and draw a card. So if they're attacking your battlefield, you can kind of like replace and keep a decent hand size. So this deck is pretty expensive, unfortunately. There are some substitutions you could do, but we'll just go over it real quick. Our super combo of choice is Zamasu. You super combo this off, choose one of your opponent's leader or battle cards, and you get to put it in rest mode. So it can stop 2 attacks. Pretty good. A rival target is our Son Goku and hit. It arrivals for 1 blue. It's a blocker. In active battle, it can restand. So sometimes you can run it out, block, rest, because in block. If you can save it or they don't combo over, you combo to make sure it stays, you can activate battle and restand it. It's up there for another block. It's really good against Gohan. I did beat Gohan, which at first, when I sat down that matchup, I was a little bit worried. I'm talking about reboot Gohan, but I was able to handle it. Just too many blockers. Also, this card can be offensive too. You swing, restand, swing. So, good card. Next, we go over our blockers that we're going to try to get out early to awaken early. We play 3 and 4. They're both good. This one's a little better because it restands an energy. But just turn when you're wanting to jam those. If your opponent swings, you block, you're already awakened. And then that's when you can just start pressuring because you have a 15k leader. This one does have the effect where it can get revenge. It works like a boony. Your opponent reveals the top card. Their deck, if it's a battle card, he gets revenge. And then just make sure any of these effects, when it reveals from, like, let's say I'm the opponent, I reveal this card, it's a battle card. You put it back on top and you shuffle. You have to make sure you shuffle your deck. That card just doesn't necessarily just go back on top. So now we're going to go get to the unisons. Zeno is just great. One of the best unisons, I think. It just keeps you in energy ahead the entire game of your opponent. And unlike Zamasu, this doesn't do anything with the extra energy. That's why Zamasu is just good with Zeno, because you can utilize that extra energy for other stuff. But it's still good because you're ramping. And you can do a lot of tricks with this in your unisons. Just remember, because at one point I was staring down a unison with 3 counters. I swung with Zeno. He had no negates. I used this, triple strike, boom. Took off 3 counters. Took his unison out while mine was still on the field. So it's really good at battling unisons, this effect of triple strike if you get on one of your unisons. Next, we played 2 of these. SS Gotenks. He's pretty good card. I liked it all in all. I played it. In one game, I actually used this ability. In the other game, I used the second ability. But the top ability is draw 2 cards. Bottom ability is you get to choose 2 of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier. and send him to, is it just send him to the bottom of the deck? Yeah, at the bottom of the owner's deck in any order. So it gives blue a way to deal with barrier. So this card is, I think, needed. Since we are playing those unisons, you need to play this. Best counterplay in the game. It's for free. It answers pretty much everything. Instead of being played, it just goes right back to their hand. Really good. More cards. Like I said, sorry, but this deck is a little bit more expensive. But I probably will go over a budget build with some substitutions. We play 3 Janemba, the Infernal Intruder, because a lot of times the good thing was I'd already be, turn 1 I'd be awakened, so I'm already awakened. Turn 2 I jam Zeno. So I already have 2 energy in play, basically, because I have Zeno. So tap Zeno. Then I charge 1 off the top of my deck. Now on turn 2, I'm already at 3 energy, tap 1. Now I get to play a 20k crit on turn 2. And then after that, I just start rolling out other big bomb cards. But it's just a good card because you can play it on turn 2. 20k crit on turn 2. Not bad at all. Sorry, shaking the camera. Like I said, it's a little expensive, but 3 Aboonies. I would run 4 if I had 4. I only have 3. But great card. If you don't know what it does, you pay 4. You get him. He has deflect. He's 20k. He brings in 3 tokens, which are all 15k, and have a, you don't have to pay any to combo, 0 cost, but they count for 5k combos. As long as you have one of your tokens in play, he can't be KO'd. And he also reveals the top card of your opponent's deck. It's an activate. If it's a battle card, you get to restand energy on your turn. Just really good. Another card I experimented with, if you don't have a Boonies, you could maybe play more of these. I did like this card a lot. I might even bump it up to 3. But if you don't have a Boonies, you can play some. You can play more of these. You can play it at all costs Vegeta, which are good budget options. But the new Janemba for the anniversary box, he costs 4 blue. That's not a problem with this deck. We're never charging anything that's not blue. And he's deflect. He's 20k. He's crit. You play him. When it goes to your opponent's turn, you get to restand 3 mono blue energy and draw a card. So it allows you to be really defensive. It's really good. I'm really impressed with this card. We play 2 monkeys. I know they cost an arm and a leg, but on top of the 2 monkeys, I played 3 Android 18. If you don't have any monkeys, you can just bump this up to 4. Because you are raping with Zeno, so you are playing it earlier. When you play this card, you draw 2 cards. So, and it's a 20k beat stick. So, and everyone knows what Draw Monkey does, just draws. Next battle card is 2 of these. Card is nuts. I am absolutely in love with this card. Costs you no energy, overwhelm 6. Then you get to choose up to 6 costs of your opponent's battle cards and send them to their war. If you're not playing these, I recommend almost every deck should be playing this in some way. Almost every deck, honestly. It doesn't matter what deck you're playing. You should probably have this somewhere in your main or sideboard if you're not in your main. Once again, I don't run an SCR in this deck because I don't have the Gogeta. But, as always, if you do not have an SCR, you can play Fu Shrouded in Mystery or 2 Fu Shrouded in Mystery. It's just way too good. And in this deck with Zeno, you're playing this on turn 5 and not turn 6. This just, a lot of times I play this and a lot of people forget what this card does. And they're like, what does that do? I said, you can't do any skills except for your leader. Like, what's that mean? You can't do words. Essentially, you can't do words on any of your cards. That's why this card is completely busted. They can't negate. They can't super combo. They can combo their super combo, but they're not going to draw a card off it or get any other effects with tap downs, whatever super combo effect they have. You play this card and you just tell your opponent you can't do words except for your leader. That's why it's nuts. Negates. We're in blue, so duh. Dimension Magic. All too easy. Because sometimes it is all too easy, but not always. This is in here in case you hit this as energy with your Zeno. It goes to your drop, and you can use it. Also for cards that are trying to get negates out of your hand, or you just negate. And then the following turn, it's in your drop to use again. Since we are only charging mono blue energy, we play this. And it doesn't matter, like on your Zeno, since you're popping the energy, if it hits like one of your black cards or your ape, no big deal because it goes away and then this is active. But as long as all your energy is blue, it gives your leader a battle card, 15k, you pick. If it's your turn, you draw a card. If it's your opponent's turn, you restand an energy. I love this card. And last but not least, since we are in blue, Sensu Bean. Sensu Bean is just Sensu Bean. It's blue. It's great. If you're playing blue, you're playing Bean. So, real quick, deck profile was in 10 minutes, so I like that. Try to make them somewhat quick. Attention spans these days, you know. So, if you don't have these, play more of these. Budget. If you don't have Aboonies, you can play more of these. Or you could even play some at all cost. These Janimbas are also pretty expensive, so you just want to mess around. There's all kinds of ways you can build it. You don't even have to run the Gotenks engine, or not the Gotenks Unison, but you could run this, and you could run some number of these too, Vegetas and this, and kind of like trim on some money too. But all in all, I think the deck's good. I actually enjoyed playing it quite a bit, and that's all I got for you today. Once again, as always, thank you for watching, and subscribe and like. Thank you. Bye.